Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty. I don't normally do videos like this, but I do when something just really gives me something that I want to share my thoughts on. So let's jump into it. Anyway, I recently seen this article on Screen Rant. It says Tim Drake's Robin killed the one villain Batman can't beat. You know, even though this is definitely a clickbait kind of thing, click, get the little click sound there. There is something that it brought to my mind that I wanted to discuss. Just recently, Tim Drake Robin series has been canceled at issue number 10. And why was that? Well, what made it this character that's lasted many, many years? He started by being introduced in the Batman storyline and then got his own miniseries, which was so successful it spawned more miniseries. And then he got his own series, which lasted well over 100 issues, but yet today we can't get him a series that lasts 10. Let's think about that. Tim Drake, also known as Robin, is undoubtedly one of the most beloved and iconic characters in the DC Comics universe. There are several reasons why Tim Drake is considered great. First of all, think about his intelligence and detective skills. Tim Drake is known for his exceptional intelligence and detective skills. He's highly analytical and resourceful, capable of solving complex mysteries and uncovering the truth. Matter of fact, his intelligence and deductive abilities rival those of Batman himself, earning him the title of the Detective Robin. Think about it, his detective skills is how he figured out who Batman was. Think about this. In this article, it says, out of all the martial artists on the planet, Batman is typically known as one of the greatest. Sure. But despite this, Robin managed to defeat the one villain he can't overcome. Time and again, Lady Shiva has beaten Batman, but during one particular adventure, Robin just didn't beat Shiva, he actually killed her. Now, there's a little bit more into the story involved in how that is, so let's dive into that as well as talk more about Robin. It says, whenever anyone makes a list of top fighters in the DC universe, Batman is near the top. But above Batman are usually the same three people: Cassandra Cain, Richard Dragon, and Lady Shiva. Batman and Lady Shiva have fought several times, and just about every time Shiva has beaten him in fair, unarmed combat. Indeed, in a memorializing, can't speak, The Dark Knight's Worst Defeats, DC's official blog doesn't just list Shiva as number one, but it notes this: how could the Dark Knight, the symbol of victory against impossible odds, lose in a fight against a mere mortal woman with no supernatural, metaphysical, or technological advantages? The answer is only this: Lady Shiva is better. Because the lesson of Lady Shiva is that even if you're Batman, there's always someone better out there. Now, I want to mention this. Tim Drake Robin, does not get enough attention for his strategic and martial arts capability. His strategic and tactical prowess as Robin, he possesses outstanding strategic and tactical acumen, if you think about it. He can assess situations swiftly and make critical decisions on the fly, making him an invaluable asset to any team he joins. But think about applying that to his fighting skills, his ability to understand the situation. This is often underplayed in recent comic books with Robin, completely underplayed in his current series, which he's written really not that smart. Even though he's a detective, he's not written very smart. Another reason I think the comic book series failed, and this is something that I was thinking about a lot, is you look at all the Batman books out there, all the Bat Family books, the art style of this book does not fit any of those. So it's jarring for people who are getting the Bat books. And it's not good art either. It's absolutely crap art. And the story really doesn't focus on the key things about Tim Drake that makes it great. The book actually focused on his sexual orientation that they changed to get the character attention, clearly showing they have no idea what to do with this character. Now let's look more at Tim Drake's martial arts and combat proficiency. He was trained by Batman, but not just Batman. He was also trained by other skilled fighters. Tim is a formidable martial artist. He has mastered various combat styles and is capable of holding his own against some of the most formidable adversaries in the DC universe. As you see here, she tried to make me a murderer like she is. She almost turned Batman into a killer. The anger comes out of me in a scream. And then I'm dizzy as the rush wears off. My head pounds with the poison there that he was had. What has he done? Now, I will say he was augmented with poison, so keep that in mind. This was during the events of Robin number 51 by Chuck Dixon, Stars Johnson, and Stan Woke. And I'm not going to read all those other names. Very, very good read. this time period of Robin was actually really, really, really good. He was in a foreign country trying to help the revolutionary leader named Dava. Problem is that this person was marked for death by Lady Shiva. While Robin tries his best to help free her from the oppressive army that they're fighting against, he's mostly there to protect her from Lady Shiva, should she show up. Well, of course she did, right? And Robin was actually able to beat her. Now, granted, there was a drug that increased him, so I don't really his skills and his speed and things like that. So I don't think it's really fair to do that, to say that. And actually, she gets better. She didn't die too. So keep that in mind. This was sort of a article that goes for the clickbait standing. But my point is this: if you read his current series, well, that just ended, it never really focused on how great of a fighter he is and how he really, even not counting this drug during this period of time, was greatly trained. He went all over the world getting trained to be the best he could. So you take all those great martial arts combat proficiency he has. You look at the other skills that he has too, like great teamwork, his tactician ability. He's also very good emotionally, he was. If you look at through all of his superhero career, the things that he's went through, the death and loss of close friends, his mother and all that, he was still able to keep his head on straight. But if you look at the most recent series, he was a bumbling guy that just couldn't handle anything. He's had a lot of development and growth over the years too. This wasn't a character that was just thrown out there and people go, oh, this change was long-term. No, he was never this way. He was developed over a long period of time. He's undergone significant character development. He evolved from a young and enthusiastic sidekick to a mature, experienced hero in his own right. His growth of his character resonated with a lot of the readers. We got to read him and watch him go from that growth, from being, hey, he's a smart guy. He deducted that Batman was Bruce Wayne. He realized that he couldn't go on alone. And so he decided to take it upon himself to become Robin. And even in the very last issue, it made it sound like he didn't really want to make that choice, which was not true in any way. He had a relatable personality to him. He was portrayed as a genius, sure, but he was also a relatable teenager dealing with everyday challenges like school and relationships, with one of the best relationships in DC Comics with Spoiler, which they completely threw away for a shameful marketing tactic and shoehorned him in. By the way, all those people that said, oh, he was always bi or whatever, the book disagrees with you. If you look, his boyfriend never showed any signs of being gay. Tim Drake never showed any signs of being gay. So what's the chances Bernard and Tim Drake both absolutely ended up being gay? The probability of that and the likelihood is so slim, it's absolutely ridiculous. For young readers, the previous series of Robin, Tim would have served as an inspiring role model for readers. His unwavering determination, sense of responsibility, and moral compass made him an excellent example of what it is to be a true hero. Did we get any of that in the last 10-issue series? No, we did not. Overall, Tim Drake's tenure as Robin left a significant impact on the DC universe and has earned himself a well-deserved place amongst the greats and superheroes of the world. His intelligence, his skills, as well as his personal qualities, made him a compelling, enduring character beloved by fans of all ages, whereas the last book mainly focused on just who he wanted to sleep with. With poor art, poor writing, and a poor understanding of the character, we can see why the series failed. And if DC wants to have Tim Drake soar again and fly to new heights, they have to focus on what makes the character special. Once again, this is not supposed to be a bigoted kind of comment or anything. I am perfectly fine with characters being of other sexual orientations, colors, and everything other just all over the place. That's just the point. Point is we don't have to change characters, especially characters that people liked that had success for a certain reason, just to try to get a cheap marketing stunt or to fill in some diversity check mark. Make characters good. If you're going to make a gay character, don't make their world revolve around their sexual orientation. Sure, that's part of their life, but it shouldn't be the main focus all the time in the book. And that's been a continuous issue, pun intended, with a lot of these issues of not just Robin, but any other gay characters recently. We had Iceman and everything. It focused on things that weren't really fitting the character. Make the character fit the character like they were. Characters, all people are more than just who they sleep with. We have many facets to us. That's what makes a character interesting, all those together, not just slamming one and making a silly change that did never fit the character in the first place. But that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on Robin? Please be civil in the comments. I greatly appreciate that, but this can be a touchy topic. Don't just leave a hasty, "you're a bigot" bullet point without any kind of proof or anything. Matter of fact, let's not attack the people, attack the question, right? Let's have a disagreement over the questions rather than attacking the people. I've seen it before in my comments. "Oh, Bernard and Tim Drake are 10 times better of a couple than Tim Drake and Stephanie." And I asked him, "Okay, tell me how." It was crickets, and it's been weeks now. I never heard a word. I get a lot of stuff like that, so don't be afraid to share your views, but actually be prepared to back them up. Thank you, everybody, for your time listening to me in my soapbox. I just thought I would share my views on this and Robin, because I've always liked the Tim Drake Robin character, and I think DC has done anything but anything good with this character in a long time. Take care, everybody, and you know what's coming next before I close this out. Everybody, keep it